Welcome everyone. Uh, Today we are just actually mainly focused on the statement of financial position. In the financial documents, we have to discuss about the statement of comprehensive income, statement of financial position, cash flow statements, right? Like that, we talk about the so far statement of comprehensive income, how to prepare this, and the main focus of that. And that we talk about mainly, we calculate the performance of the organization. We calculate the gross, we calculate the profit for the year, right? After that, so that's the main focus of the statement of comprehensive. But here, this statement is totally different from that, because in statement of comprehensive income, we talk about the incomes and expenses, and the statement of financial position, we are normally focusing on the assets and liability, assets, equity, capital, liability. So normally, statement of financial position, I'll show you the main formula. I think the people who do accounting, this is very pretty familiar with you. So normally we have balance sheet formula. Normally the previous name for SOFP, right? We call SOFP, right? That is equal to statement of financial position. Statement of financial position. That's the name. Simple term is an abbreviation. You can say SOFP, right? The previously is known as in the like few years back, it was known as balance sheet. Balance sheet. So like that. This is the normally the SOFP or balance sheet, statement of financial position, which represents something, three key elements. The main balance sheet SOF formula is we call capital. So normally assets of the business. Assets equal capital plus liabilities. Assets equal capital plus liabilities. This is the main, we call balance sheet formula, right? Assets equal capital plus liability. So this one we can further expand it. That's why we are normally in balance sheet. Normally we are preparing this based on this base. Assets equal capital plus liability. So assets we can divide two assets. Non-current asset we call NCA, non-current assets, and plus current assets. So what is non-current assets? Like land, building, motor vehicle, machines. That comes under non-current asset. That the asset that we can keep more than one financial year, we call non-current assets. Right? So all the fixed assets come from non-current assets, like land, building, motor vehicle, fixtures and fitting, property, plant, everything comes under non-current assets. And there's another asset called current assets. Current assets. Right? Current assets stand for the normally current assets means like normally inventory, trade receivables, right? Cash in bank, cash in hand, right? Other receivables, everything comes under. That means assets that we are normally keeping, like for less than one financial year, all the current assets. And there's another one called capital, which sometimes we call equity. Equity, same thing like capital. That is the owner's equity, same thing like capital, owner's money. How we invested in the business share, is including the private companies, limited liability companies is share capital, right? Share capital and retained earnings comes under here. So equity section, that also I actually expand and sometimes we call share capital plus reserves. Share capital plus reserves include the capital section, right? So asset section include in the here non-current assets and the current assets, right? And then share capital including capital, share capital and reserves. The reserves mainly, we have retained earnings, right? And other revaluation reserves, general reserves like that. There are some organizations are there. Then liability section. In the liability section, there are two liabilities: non-current liabilities plus current liabilities. So NCL stand for non-current liabilities, some liabilities which actually have to be settled more than one financial year, like bank loans, mortgages, long-term loans. Basically, long-term liabilities comes under non-current liabilities. Every business organization, we have long-term liabilities. There's a liability that we can settle more than 1 year, like especially bank loans. We are taking for like 10 years, 15 years, 5 years, like that. Bank loans, mortgage loans, sometimes leases comes under non-current liability. Current liability stands for the liabilities or obligations that you have to settle within one financial year. That's including the trade creditors, bank overdraft, accrued expenses like telephone bill payments, water bill payment, electricity bill, utility bill payments, other payables, tax liable, tax payable things. So this comes under current liabilities. Like that, this is the expansion. So this formula is called the balance sheet formula, and this one we are going to prepare in a way which classify the assets separately, and then you separately classify the share capital, reserves, and non-current liability, current liability. So ACL, we sometimes is called ACL formula, assets equal capital plus liability, right? So I'll show you real SOFP organization. This is the Nestle Lanka PLC's SOFP, Statement of Financial Position. The 31st December, the financial year ends on 31st December. They're given the recent one, 2020, and the other column they have given 2019 because for comparison purpose. So you can see here, the topic started with the assets. So the assets of the business organization, you can see, right? So assets of the business organization, starting with the non-current assets. I told you non-current assets, property, plant, and equipment, right? Property, plant, and equipment, and also you can see the capital, obvious, other non-current assets, current assets, right? After non-current assets, we have current assets. Current assets, you can see inventory, trade, and other receivables, amount due to related parties, cash and cash equivalents, and total assets. Total assets of the business, you can see 2019 is 16 billion, and then 2020 it's 19 billion. So that's the increment is there for about 3 billion increment. So the main reasons in non-current asset, we can see property, plant, and equipment goes down because of the established depreciation and all. And then the major thing, you see, non-current asset gone down from 9.7 billion, 9.2 billion, about 500 million gone down, depreciation. Inventory value improved a little bit, 3.4 to 4.9, right? Trade receivables decrease. Current due, other related parties, all the dues, same amount, but significant, there's no significant change. But look at the cash. Cash is the main reason for this situation. Cash and cash equivalents is 500 million to 2.5 billion. Cash improved by 1.5 billion. So this is the main reason for that current actually assets, total asset improvement. Main improvement actually caused by inventory improvement, but 1.5 billion, and the cash and cash equivalent improvement about 1.5 billion, totally 16 billion to 19 billion, about 3 billion improvement is there, total assets. You can see the justification, you can see the total assets equal capital plus liability. So the equity and liability. The capital we call equity. So equity can be divided into two parts, stated capital or share capital, and the retained earnings and other reserves. So this case, stated capital is a fixed amount. It doesn't change. Same amount, 537 million, the value of the stated capital. Retained earnings improved 4.9 billion to 5.3 billion. Retained earnings improved because of the profit. We had to add the profit for the retained earnings. The reserves increased because of that. And get the equity section 5.9 billion. And then non-current liabilities total coming 2 billion. That's including the all long-term liabilities like retirement benefit obligation, deferred tax liability, and non-current as provisions, non-current financial liability like bank loans and stuff. They have 84 million. Like that, that decrease actually, liabilities gone down. That's the kind of a good in financial terms, you know, the liquidity level is improved because 3.7 billion liabilities has gone down to 2 billion, right? So it's a big like reduction, but 1.7 billion reduction, right? It's good actually because they settle their non-current, the financial bank loans and everything. They have settled 1.9 billion, gone down to 84 million, but 1.9 billion they settle bank loan. That's the main reason. And look at the other one, current liability. Current liabilities mean the liability that you have to settle within one financial year, starting from the trade payables. Like when you're doing business, you have to buy from trade credits, like from suppliers, that improve from them from 4.9 billion to 6.2 billion. Amount due from related parties improved by about 1 billion. Current tax payable amount is improved by 652 million to 935 million. And dividends payable, you can see that not actually improved, dividend payable 86 million only. Current financial liabilities, the other liabilities, you can see that improved 900 million to 2.2 billion. You can see altogether Current liability level, the liability that you have settled within one financial year, has gone up by 7.5 billion to 11.1 billion. So total liability is equal to, again, what happened? Total liability and equity, if you add them up, that's equal to 19.2 billion. You can see here, total assets figure, 19.2 billion. This figure is equal to capital plus liability figure. That's the balance sheet formula. This is the balance sheet format, right? One of the main important financial statement after SOCI, SOFP. You can see here the total theorem is here, total assets equal total capital plus liability. Here at the end, 19 billion equal 19 billion. Here 16.8 equals 16.8 billion. Because this include the total asset section actually represents how they invest their money in different way. For property, how much? For inventories, how much? Right. And this capital structure is actually represented by the equity and liability. How's the capital structure? For 5 billion, they have a, you can see, equity capital, and their debt capital, you can see, current liability, non-current liabilities altogether have 11 billion, 13 billion total liability. So equity 5 billion, liability 13 billion. It's highly like, I can see, debt to equity ratio. So yeah, ratio analysis we are going in my next session. So like that, this case they have more debt capital than the equity capital. They have equity capital only 5 billion, but debt capital is there from liabilities, from external financing. They source 13 billion. So altogether, the total assets 19 billion. That is represented by total equity and liability 19 billion. Right. So this is the one that you're going to analyze today one by one here in the SOFP. You're going to understand the purpose of SOFP, and you're going to understand the main features of the statement of financial position, like what is current assets, non-current assets, current liability, non-current liability, and capital employed. And we're going to how to interpret the SOFP. Right. Look at this case study. Azora Dining Furniture. Azora Dining Furniture is a small manufacturer of dining room furniture. It makes wooden tables, chairs, and other small item of furniture to customers in South Estonia. Table 30.1 shows some financial information for the business at the end of 2015. On the left-hand side, the table shows the value of all the resources owned by Azora, So, and which are called assets, right? In this case, you can see the assets, properties, tools, equipment, inventory, other receivables, other assets, everything. So it's included non-current assets, current assets, both, right? On the other hand, right-hand side, the value of the liabilities and capital showed in this side. So share capital, bank loan, there is equity plus liability, everything have given here on the right-hand side. So question number one asking, what is the value of the all assets owned by a business? Question number one, you read them out. Question number two, how much money does the business owe to the owners and all other creditors? That we have to separate this one and find out share capital and reserves. You have to add them separately, that is belongs to owners. And other liabilities, external liabilities, you can see bank loan, trade payables, tax. You have to add them up separately and show for all other creditors. And asking, what do you notice about the values of assets and the total amount of owed by the liability? We'll see that's sample answer for this Azora case study. So total assets in this dining case study, you can see total assets equal 395,900. If you add them up, value comes like that. And total, you can see the money just belongs to the owners. How much money belongs to owner? That is stated capital, share capital plus retained earnings. That's 200,000 plus 104,900. That is 304,900. So, or to other creditors, the other three elements, I think tax payables, creditors, bank loan, if you add them on 91,000. So what do you notice about the value of assets and the liability? The value of the assets exactly same. The value of assets exactly same as the amount owed. So both values are 395,900. Right? If you add them up, here total assets figure 395,900, and equity and the liability section, if you add them up, that's same amount coming 395,900. As I told you, as I proved previously, that's the balance sheet formula. Always the assets of the business, total assets can be divided into two branches, non-current assets and current asset. That's total is always equal to the equity and the liabilities. That is, this assets funded by this much of equity and this much of liabilities, right? So this is the main theory behind the case study, behind this SOFP. This is the main theorem, balance sheet formula, right? So we are going to next one. What the statement of financial position? What is the definition? You can see statement of financial position is the summary at a point in time, the business assets, liabilities, and capital. Often they call the balance sheet. Sometimes we can call it's kind of a snapshot. It's a snapshot of at a particular time. You can see they're preparing. They say the 31st statement of financial position as at 31st December. As at 31st December. Because this is a financial position for the date, that particular date. As at 31st 2020, the December, you can see December, the main organization, you can see this asset and liabilities as at 31st December, the particular date of time. That's why this is kind of a financial snapshot. But previously, statement of comprehensive income, we prepare for the year ended, for the entire year. You can see for the year ended 31st December. Look at the wording. So statement of financial profit and loss comprehensive income, we are preparing for a year, for the whole year, for the year ended 31st December. Right. So this is the format of that. We discussed that in our previous session. But here, in the statement of financial position, we are preparing only just for one day. And as at 31st December, how much their assets and liability status. So as a entrepreneur, so shareholder, we can find out the liquidity position of the business, whether they are in a good financial position or not, whether they are going to bankrupt or not. We can tell by looking at this, right? So most businesses produce a statement of financial position at the end of the financial year. Usually financial year end of sometime 31st December, like here, this case Nestle, this financial year ends on 31st December. But some other organizations, financial year ends on 31st March. 31st March. So financial year normally starting, some organizations follow the calendar year, like 1st of January to 31st December. But some organizations, they follow their financial year from 1st of April to next year, 31st March, right? So this is the situation. I think accounting students, they already know, I think these things, what is the financial year, what are the current assets, what are the current liabilities, these things. So normally the financial statement of financial position is like a photograph of firm's financial position at a particular point in time. It provides a summary of the firm's assets, liabilities, and capital. And it also commonly known as a balance sheet. Commonly known as the balance sheet. So assets are the resources owned by a business. Example include the building, machinery, equipment, vehicles, inventory, and cash. Assets are the resources owned by the business. So we can see here the assets are two types of assets, non-current assets and the current asset. By looking at these notes, we can find out what are the property, plant, and equipment, how much they have, how much motor vehicle they have, how much building they have, what is this 8 billion represent. We can go to this note number 12. If you want to refer this one, we can go to that note number 12. If you want to find out how much the inventories consist of, 4 billion, we can refer the note number 14. So that's another thing in the financial statement. We have after this, we have notes. We call notes to the financial statement. That is, if you want to find out, the financial statement is kind of a summary. If you want to find out the more details about these things, we can go to the note numbers. This is note number 1. Reporting entity. Note number 2, basis of preparation, going concern concept. This is like accounting student, they know this financial accounting concepts, basic accounting concepts. So note number, let's go to note number 12 and 14. Then I can see what is the property, plant, and equipment. You can see depreciation of values, impairment, intangible assets, like that. They're given everything, inventories. These are normally like the main basics, but you can see note number 12, non-financial income, expenses, dividends per share, property, plant, and equipment. Here you can see property, plant, and equipment. They have given the breakdown. Property, plant, and equipment, 8 billion, and the right of use assets. You can see like they have given the breakdown. You can see here, you can see the table. So I'll show you, like I rotate this and I'll show you. Yeah, you can see here if you want to find out the property, plant, equipment, because the company, any publicly limited company, they have a huge property, especially for a company like Nestle. You can see their property, plant, and equipment, the buildings, freehold lands, leasehold lands, plant and machinery, tools, furniture, and office equipment, motor vehicles, information system, IT, computer systems, and all. So this is total asset represented by that. The cost, additions, transfer from work in progress, disposal, how much they sold, everything, and depreciation values. So everything, the full information about the assets figure is given. But the balance, you can see 7 billion represented by this is, so we are only SOFP, we are only giving this amount on, right? So You can see that's it's called nodes. If you go to asset, there are so many assets: land, building, motor vehicle, furniture. So they have in business organization, they have, you can see balance sheet at 31st December, they have 117 million worth of motor vehicles are there, right? And they have 500 million worth of information systems and equipments are there, right? You can see furniture value 1.9 billion, plant and machinery 9.2 billion because it's a manufacturing organization, Nestle, 9.2 billion worth of machines, right? Buildings, 3.6 billion worth of buildings, land value 160 million worth of lands, right? Freehold land 17 million worth of freehold, like that, because they have factories and plants in Ratnapura, Haligoda, and different parts in Sri Lanka, like that. So this is the summary of that. Like that, we can find out the everything. If you go to this page number 6 again, you can find out there what it tells you, everything is there. So if you want to find out the more information, what you have to do, just refer the note numbers. Then we can find out the normally, that's how we are going to interpret, refer everything. If you want to find out the asset structure of the business, property, plant, equipment, refer the note number 12 like that. If you want to find the inventory structure, you can go to the note number 14 and find out how this 4.9 billion comes from. Okay, so like that, this is the way we are referring the SOFP. So it's a statement of financial position or SOFP or balance sheet. It is the summary of, you can see, assets, liabilities, and capital. And we're preparing once a year, annually we are preparing the format, and then as a result, what happened, the assets of the business is equal to capital plus liability. So here in this handout, you can see I have given some blanks. What are the to write the example of this thing? So you can write down fixed assets example means land, building, motor vehicle, machines, computers. You can write down fixed asset, the asset that normally business hold more than one financial year. The fixed assets of the business usually are the normally asset that the business keeps more than one financial year. So you can write a property, plant, and equipment, which means land, building, motor vehicle, machines, and fixtures and fittings. Land, building, motor vehicle, machines, computer equipment, that comes under fixed assets. Current assets example, you can write down few examples, like, starting normally with the biggest current asset is the inventory value, the stocks that we have, inventory value, and then cash in hand, cash at bank, and other receivables, right? So normally these are the things: inventory, trade receivables, cash in hand, cash at bank, right? So you can write with me. And also current assets, so you can write down the current liabilities are normally the liabilities that you have settled within one financial year. So current liabilities are usually trade payables, and other payables, tax payables, right? Accrued expenses, so on. These are comes under current liabilities. Bank overdraft, trade payables, bank overdraft, accrued expenses, other payables comes under them, right? So mainly I have given the examples of cash and everything. Assets we can divide into two branches: fixed assets and the current assets. The assets that we normally keeps more than one financial year, we call fixed assets or non-current assets. And assets we normally use for less than one financial year or less than 12 months, we call current assets. That's a classification of the asset structure. And liabilities we can divide into two branches again. This is a more common example of liabilities: income tax payable, customer deposits, warrant liabilities, then there are salvage payable, salaries payable, everything. So there we can divide the liability into two branches: current liabilities and long-term or non-current liabilities. Current liabilities refer to the money that the business owes that has to be repaid within next 12 months. Because sometimes in examination, sometimes they ask in defined questions, define term current liability, define the term non-current liability, like that. Therefore, you should know how to define these things. That's one of the skills that you had obtained. Current liabilities example, you can see creditors, overdraft, and tax payables. Long-term liabilities or non-current liabilities are, you can see the liabilities that you can settle within more than 12 months, like long-term loans, mortgages. Liabilities can be divided into two branches: non-current liabilities and the current liabilities. Can see sometimes another concept called working capital. Working capital concept means current assets minus current liabilities, right? So anyway, so asset can be divided into two branches: non-current and current. Even liabilities also can be divided into two branches: non-current liability and current liability. The other part is the owner's equity, owner's capital or equity capital. Normally the owner's capital means the money they have invested to the business, like stated capital. When a sole trader's case, his shares is actually amount of money he has saved, the stated capital. In the private limited company, the share amount, the share capital owned by the business shareholders. PLC also same, the share capital and actually invested in the stock exchange. Everything comes under owner's equity capital. So format of the balance sheet. So I have already shown you. So format is there. The format of the balance sheets usually is starting comes with the assets equal capital plus liability, that level. So I'll show you the format right now. You can see activity number 1. Let's go to activity number 1, case study Tesco. Right, so Tesco is a large supermarket chain. It operates nearly 7,000 stores. In 2016, according to its annual reports and accounts, the value of its assets were 43,904 million. A significant proportion of this, about 17,600 million, was property, plant, and equipment. Yeah, you can see even the Nestle also, the significant proportion goes to their property, plant, and equipment. 9.2 billion. The out of total assets is 19 billion. Out of 19 billion, almost half goes to the non-current assets, right? It's like that. Normally, that's why every business organization, non-current assets section actually have very significant, especially manufacturing business. Their machines are the most valuable, say machines, building properties. In the balance sheet, the biggest value is that, right? Especially school also, the biggest assets of the business is the buildings. Buildings and the land and the building is the biggest valuable asset, right? Because accounting, you don't take the human resource as asset, no, because that's a non-financial thing. So because the value of the humans can be judged by money, according to money measurement concept, you only take in the land, property, plant, and equipments, and machines, cash, everything only. But here you can see even the Nestle also, how much they have staff, they have staff members, managers, that human resource, the human capital, the value of that we are not taking into the accounts. So even the school also, I think my personal thing, I think more than the buildings, the teachers are the most important asset in a business, especially school, because their teaching panel, their methods, right? Because you must have really good, the group of teachers, that mainly that's a human resource, especially teachers and the other staff members, because that's mainly the success of the organization depending on that, not the buildings, right? Students actually not come to the school because of the building and the land. They're just coming because of the education provider, so because of the teachers. So that's why, but in SOFP, that's the one limitation. The non-financial things we cannot actually represent, like a human resource. Sometimes they might have nice, like a hotel or something, they might have like a beautiful location, but the value of location we cannot add it to the financial statement. These are inherent limitations of the financial statement, right? The qualitative factors like a human resource thing and the location. So this thing actually we cannot embed it into the financial statement. Only financial, mean tangible and material factors only we can actually add it into the financial statement. So in this case, the Tesco has about that much of significant amount. The value of liability is only 35,820 million, and then 10,711 million of this amount was owed to the banks and other financial institutions. Question number 1, they ask you what's the difference between assets and liability. Use examples and work out the value of the capital for Tesco, and write a letter to shareholders explaining what the statement of financial position show. Right. So I'll show you. This is normally the formula I told you. Sometimes we can find out that kind of calculation also. I told you easily. Assets equal capital plus liability, but we can even manipulate this one. We call A equal assets equal capital plus liabilities, ACL. But if you want, imagine if you want to find the C, capital, how to find the capital? The capital equal asset minus liability, asset minus liability. If you want to find the liability, sometimes we can also calculate the liabilities. How to find asset minus capital? Like that, we can modify this formula and we can manipulate this formula and we can derive another different two formulas out of this. If you want to find the assets, it's only asset equal capital plus liabilities. If you want to find the capital, that is equal to capital equal to asset minus liabilities. If you want to find the liabilities, liabilities equal asset minus capital. Like that, we can manipulate our formula and we can find out like that. Okay, let's go to Tesco's situation. They're asking to calculate what's the difference between assets and liabilities. What's the difference between assets and the liabilities? So answer is here. Model answer. Assets are the resources owned by business. For example, Tesco had 43,904 million assets for 2016. A significant proportion is 17 million was non-current assets, property, land, and equipment. Liabilities are the debts of a business, right? The definition, debts of a business, that is amount of money owed to outsiders. Value of Tesco's liability was only 35,288 million in 2016, right? And 10,711 million of this amount were owed to the banks and other funds. This is like the same thing. They actually context, they have copy paste from the text. Like normally they're asking a question with the case study application. We have to use the exam, especially numbers and everything, definition and the application. Application means the using their words and the numbers. Right. Work out the value of the capital. So assets equal capital plus liability. Then as I told you, then capital equal asset minus liability. So this case, assets 43,000 and capital plus liability 35,000. Then difference between these two is the capital. Therefore, we can see 43,000 minus 35,000. That's capital amount 8,660. Value of capital. Value of capital. Right. The third question they're asking, write a letter to shareholders explaining. So it's what is the statement? Just it shows the organization like a capital, assets, and liability structure, mainly financial position. That's called as particular day of the year. So we are taking the snapshot of the business organization, and we can find out at a particular date how much assets they have, how much assets and capital and liabilities they owed for the shareholders and the other debtors. So it's like a financial snapshot, right? So that's the case study activity number 2. So I'll show you what is the format of the features of the statement of financial position. This is the normally format. This looks like the same format is internationally recognized. Every organization, if you go through, statement of financial position is like this, similar to this. Always is normally the name is their statement of financial position as at 31st December or 31st March, and note number and current year 2020 and the previous year. You have to give like that format, starting with the assets and then non-current assets, current, non-current asset, current asset, total assets, and equity and liability, equity and reserves, and non-current liability, current liability, and we are writing total liabilities and total equity and liability. This is the main format. So what are the features of this? You can see here we have given the format also. Non-current assets. Non-current assets mean the assets that last for more than 1 year. Simple definition, right? Asset that lasts for more than 1 year, or you can use more than 12 months. So here the format they have given from the example: non-current assets, property, fixtures, and fittings. Current asset, inventory, trade receivables, cash, 284. And then this is actually this format. It's a normal 250, like a little, pretty old format. We are not following this format right now. We are using non-current asset, current asset, then total asset we are writing. And then you're taking the shareholder equity, non-current liability, current liability. Then we are taking. So here, this net asset system, this format was actually all syllabus that we are normally using the new format. This is the new format: total assets, current asset, non-current asset, and equity and liability. That's how this is the new format, right? So this is not a pretty correct format. This is the old format that we're using, the net asset value. But here also you can see net asset equal capital employed. But this is the old format. Just don't follow this one. Follow only this format, right? This is the international accounting standards right now. Updated format is this one, right? Formats and everything you no need to actually to memorize, because that's for accounting student. But in business studies, you should know what are the meaning of that, right? Example, current assets. Current asset definition is there. The current assets are likely to be changed into the cash within a year, called current assets. Current assets are the assets that will be changed into the cash within 1 year. The liquid assets. The liquidity of an asset show how easily and quickly it can be changed into the cash. For example, inventory, trade receivables, cash in hand. You see everything in another important thing I have to say is normally in SOFP we're preparing this one, all the elements we are recording according to liquidity preference. Liquidity means how easy that actually asset can turn into cash. So according to that, 100% liquid asset is cash because there's no need to convert again to cash. Cash is 100% liquid asset. That's why we recording cash and cash equivalent at the last. Here you can see cash and cash equivalent coming 2.5 billion. That's the last figure because that's a 100% liquid asset. So what is the least liquid asset in the business? Property, plant, and equipment. Very difficult to sell. No? Very difficult to sell a land. No? Block building takes some time. No? And next one, work in progress. Other non-current assets. And inventory after that. Inventory, stocks, trade, other receivables. Amounts due from related parties. Cash and cash equivalent. Rather, this is called the liquidity preference. Liquidity preference. So always property, plant, and equipment number one. Cash comes to the last point as the last point. Right, lowest liquidity to highest liquidity, right? That's also keep in mind. So inventory, trade receivables, cash in hand. These are the main current assets of the business organization. Under current liabilities are the debts that have to be repaid within a year, right? Please go to the subject vocabulary section, then you can find out the important definitions that which come from the definition question, defined questions, right? Because in so many past papers, defined questions are tested like define assets, define liabilities, define current liabilities, right? Like that. So current liabilities are business debts which must be repaid within 12 months. Trade payables, taxation money, lease and hire purchase values you have to pay, and short-term loans. Non-net current assets. Net current asset means this is actually that according to our previous format, we have net current asset, but here we don't have a net current asset value here, only just a total asset value is only. But net current asset means the value, you can see the difference between the calculated by subtracting the current liabilities from current assets. Sometimes we call it the working capital figure. Just keep in your mind net current assets also. And non-current liabilities, like bank loans, the liability that you have to settle within more than one financial year. You can see in this example, we have non-current liability, retirement benefit obligation for the workers. Right, long time we are keeping their liabilities, and deferred tax liabilities for the government, the liability that you have to settle in long run. And non-current provisions. There are some provisions are there that you have reserves, you are maintaining the payables, and non-current financial liabilities, the bank loans, lease amounts, everything categorizes here. This media. So that's why non-current liabilities are the long-term liabilities of a business organization. Right. Shareholders' equity is the bottom section of the slide that normally shows the capital of the business, money owned by the owners. Right. So stated capital. Right. So this is the normally you can see this normal format. So like that, missing figure questions can be asked like that. So asking what is the property, plant, and equipment here, the missing figures you can find that is normally like I think basic maths questions. Find the missing value, share capital. What is meant by the term inventory? What is the difference between current assets and the non-current assets? The basic question they're asking. Let's go to the questions. You can see here they're asking the missing figures. The missing figures you can find out like that. These are the values. Net current assets become 4.3 billion. Share capital is 10 million, and plant and equipment is 9.1 million. Right. So this kind of fill in the blank questions are sometimes there, but very not rare, not very popular question like fill in the blank question right now, because they're asking calculate questions basically from other sections. What is meant by the term inventories in the statement of financial position? Inventories, so sometimes you call stocks. Inventories are current assets for a business. They include stocks of raw materials, components, and finished goods ready for sale. So in this case, ERCO has 4.5 billion worth of inventories, 4.5 million worth of inventories in 2016 as a toy maker. Examples might include raw materials such as plastics, paint, and packaging. It could also include the stocks of toys ready to sell to customers. The last question of the day, you can see what is the difference between current assets and the non-current assets. Difference. Current assets are the assets that will be changed into cash within 1 year. That's the current assets. And they are very liquid assets. The liquidity of an asset is how easily and how quickly it can be changed into cash. Example, current assets of ERCO include inventories 4.5 million, trade receivables, which money owed by customers 6.9 million, and the cash 2.1 million. Current assets, non-current assets are those that last for more than 1 year. They are the most productive resources of a business. ERCO has two main non-current assets, factory and plant and equipment. The total value of ERCO's non-current assets is 31st December is 43 million, like that. So today in my lesson, so actually I try to explain the main features of the financial statement SOFP, and there we discuss about the main, actually the statement of financial position of the real business. So Nestle Lanka, SOFP is a financial snapshot. So SOFP is a summary of the firm's assets and liabilities and capital for a particular date of a year in time. So financial statement, the components we talk about, mainly the asset part. Asset can be divided into two branches, current assets and the non-current assets. I explain this by using formula. And capital is stated capital. You can see the share capital and reserves. That's called the capital of the business organization. And liabilities we can divide into two branches, non-current liabilities and the current liabilities. Always non-current means when assets and liabilities, the assets are liabilities that we can keep more than one financial year, more than 12 months time. As well as the current liabilities mean the liabilities and assets that we are using less than 12 months. Less than 12 months. Current assets also there, current liabilities also there. Right? These are the things we discussed today, and we discussed 3 activities from the textbook. Right? So in my next session, I'm going to explain you what are the benefits of the SOFP and how to interpret these values, what are the benefits of different stakeholders of that, how to calculate the different liquidity positions and how the organization, how can you say this the high company position is dangerous or not, like how to interpret this value. That part I'm going to discuss in my next session. Right? From that I'm going to wind up our today's session. Thank you.